Guys, welcome back. So today's tutorial is going to be on this classic Christmas makeup look. I love a red lip any time of year, so I feel like this look is especially fitting around the holidays. So if you guys are interested in how I achieved it, then just keep on watching. So I'm going to be going in first with the Maybelline Master Prime and then going in with Men's Shave Balm. Trust me, this stuff is awesome at keeping your makeup on all day long. Then I'm going to be starting off with my foundation. I'm using the L'Oreal 24 Hour Pro Matte Foundation and buffing it in with the Real Techniques. Is it the Beauty Sponge or the Complexion Sponge? This thing is awesome when it's dampened at making sure that your foundation is really smooth and perfectly blended. Then I just cover up my dark circles with the e.l.f. Cover Everything Concealer, the orange based one, and then I'm highlighting the high points of my face with the Maybelline Better Skin Concealer. I'm also concealing any unwanted friends that have popped up around my face, and then buffing everything out with that same blender that I used for my foundation. And then, as always, go in and set your entire face with any kind of powder. I like to use either the Maybelline or the CoverGirl translucent face powder just to set everything so that when you go in with your powder face product, everything goes on really smoothly and doesn't like come up with any patches or anything like that. It just blends out perfectly. Then I went ahead and skipped over my brows because it's pretty boring to film brows, and I went straight ahead and just highlighted my brows and the bridge of my nose and a little bit on my Cupid's bow with a matte eyeshadow, just because later on I want to make this really glowy. So going in with a light white base is going to make it so that glowiness that we put on top is going to really pop. Then I just went in and carved out my cheekbones and bronzed around my temples and the top of my forehead with the same L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable powder that I always used, just to give a little bit more shape and definition to my face. And after I contour, I like to just go in with the same foundation brush that I used, or the powder brush that I used, and blend everything out. I don't have any additional product on my brush. I'm just making sure that everything's blended and I don't have any harsh lines. Then I'm going to bake just a little bit underneath my contour to make it look a little sharper, because it can tend to get a little bit muddy on my face, so I want to make sure that that doesn't happen. Then I'm going in with this blush really lightly. This is the Morphe 9B blush palette, and this stuff is super pigmented. You just need a tiny little bit and it really warms up the face. Then I'm going in with that same powder brush and blending out the blush I just put on and getting rid of that excess powder that I used to bake. To highlight the tops of my cheekbones, I'm using the Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop. I'm just getting it right on the high points. And then for this look, I want it to be extra glowy. So I also went in on my Cupid's bow, a tiny bit on the bridge of my nose, and a little bit over each eyebrow. This is going to make it super glowy, but not too over the top. Now to start with the eyes, I'm going in with my base. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Highlight in the shade Lunch Money, and then I'm going over the top of it with this really sparkly shade. You couldn't really tell in the camera, but if you have the Morphe 35O palette, that's the third one over, and I'm setting that color with that color. Then as my transition shade, I'm using, with this gold shade, I'm going in over the center of the lid and making it kind of like an ombre effect to go into this third gold shade from the 35T palette from Morphe, and using that on the outer corner. That way those three shades kind of go from lightest to darkest, from the inner corner to the outer corner of the eye, and I'm making sure they really blend together. It's a super soft transition, so it's not really in your face, but it's really subtle, and it kind of takes a back seat a little bit to the bold wing that we're going to put on. Then for my crease shade, I'm using this really matte kind of taupey brown color. It's really warm and it works really well with this look, and I really like how it came out. So it just provides a really soft transition shade for all of those intense sparkly shades that we have on the lid. Then I'm just gonna go in and take that matte color and do the exact same thing on my lower lash line. And then, ooh, I hate watching this, but this is the Rimmel Scandalized Waterproof Eye Kohl, and I just went in and tight lined. And then to start off my winged eyeliner, I'm just going in with any black liner and mapping out the line with an angled brush. That way it kind of keeps me in check. I can tend to go a little bit overboard with my wing when I try to do a subtle wing, and starting out with an eyeshadow first gives me a nice guide so that I can keep it right where I want to keep it, so that I can keep the line thin instead of going too overboard. So when I was done with the black shadow, I just went in and went over it with the Maybelline gel liner in Blackest Black, and you can see that it kind of helped me keep it really thin and precise. Then I just threw on a coat of mascara to prepare for the false lashes that I'm going to pop on in just a second. Then I went in with this NYX liquid crystal liner in this really extra sparkly gold shade. I really loved how it ended up turning out, but I will have to say that my eyes kind of had a reaction to it. It like kind of burned my eyes when it was on my eyelids, and they watered up really bad, but after it dried, it was totally fine. So I don't know if I would recommend using this because it might happen to you, but it might not. So I just wanted to give that little disclaimer about this stuff, but it did come out really pretty. So hopefully it wouldn't happen to you. Then I just went in and lined my waterline with a creamy nude pencil, and then I went in and did my lips. This is a NYX lip liner in the shade Toast, and I just lined my lips with it and then did the outer corners. And then I went in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade American Doll and put that all over the entire lip. And then I let that dry. And then just in the outer corners, I went back in with that darker Toast lip liner just to make it kind of like an ombre effect, because then I took this LA Girl lip paint in the shade Tango, and I popped that all over the center of the lips, and that really made it so that this whole look, or this whole lip, is kind of an ombre lip, and it came out, I really like how it came out. So then to just clean up the edges, I used a little bit of concealer to make it really sharp, and then since my lashes had dried, I just went over the top where the glue was and put a little bit of black eyeshadow to make it so the lash band wasn't visible. And that completes this look. I really hope you guys liked this as much as I enjoyed creating this look for you. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below to let me know what you thought. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!